Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. March 13th, 1874, Mexico, sanctuary for those who would destroy and run. A sanctuary protected by endless miles of trackless waste. Protected, too, by the laws of decent men, which held the country's border inviolable.
No, something's wrong. He's not getting us. Try him again.
For weeks, Colonel Mackenzie had sought the stronghold of the Brothers. It had been found buried deep in the Palos Negros range.
Wait a minute. See that saguaro cactus up there? He's above it and to the right. Sight him in.
I got him, sir.
There he is. He's got us.
They were three desperate, driven men, known only as the Brothers. No other name was necessary. In the border region, this name came to mean terror to all but one man, Colonel Ranald Slidell Mackenzie.
Brothers returned last night to Gonzales' cabin. No fresh horses there. They can't move for 2 days.
2 days. At last. All right, Sergeant. Acknowledge the word count and tell Tower the raiders will rendezvous with him at Carbon Canyon an hour before sunset.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Lieutenant. I was just going to send for you. There's Tower's report.
You waited a long time for this.
You bet I have.
How are you going to get them to come out?
I'm not. I'm going in after them.
The Palos Negros Range? That's Chiricahua country.
That's right, Lieutenant. Nobody but the Brothers would dare hole up in such murderous country. Nevertheless, we've got to chance it. Now, we're going to move immediately. Alert the raiders. Full gear. Check with Jackson. If his hand's well enough, I want him with us.
Yes, sir. Oh, Colonel, there's a Horace Winship outside to see you.
Horace Winship. So he finally got here, huh? Why the devil couldn't he stay in Washington where he belongs?
Sir?
Horace Winship is a reporter with the Washington Tribune. He's a troublemaker. His two main targets are the Rio Grande area and the military mind, as he chooses to call it. He's sure the two of them in combination are going to get us into a war with Mexico.
Shall I still post the raiders, sir?
Yes, immediately. I'll have to take care of Mr. Winship. Send him in, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Good of you to see me, Colonel Mackenzie.
My pleasure, Mr. Winship. Won't you sit down, sir?
Thank you.
Well, how can I be of service, sir?
You can tell me how I can find a bath in this godforsaken country. Forgive me, Colonel, but the so-called road I've been traveling is the closest thing to a dust storm I know of.
Yes. Dust in the summer and mud in the winter. But you did get here, and all in one piece. That's the important thing. 2 years ago, Mr. Winship, that wouldn't have been possible. What brings you here, sir?
Shall we say local color, Colonel? My readers have an intense interest in this part of the country.
Now, surely you haven't traveled 2,000 miles for local color.
Perhaps. Tell me, Colonel, how are conditions in this area?
You know, I'd appreciate it if you'd speak plainly what's on your mind.
Sir?
You are this Horace Winship, are you not? The papers get to Fort Clark late, but they do get here. You seem to have made up your mind already about this area.
All right, Colonel. I've been attending hearings of the Border Commission in Washington. I have reason to believe that the situation is becoming critical down here. I'd like to talk to you about the border.
The border, Mr. Winship, is 18 miles from here, due southwest.
Well, that's very valuable information. I would imagine that proximity complicates the job you're trying to do here.
That's right.
In effect, the border has your hands tied, correct, Colonel?
Correct, Mr. Winship.
In view of your problem of maintaining peace and order, wouldn't you say not being allowed to cross the Rio Grande was a stupid formality, but the end might justify the means?
The decision whether or not to cross the Rio Grande is not mine to make, sir.
I understand, Colonel, that you have something of a reputation for cutting through official red tape.
Now, let me tell you this, Mr. Winship. There's an undeclared war being waged down here. It's being waged against innocent civilians and settlers in this miserable pocket. Fortunately, this is the last place on Earth where such a war can be waged. It's my job to keep it in check. Now, you're a journalist. Admittedly, the pen is mightier than the sword. But heaven help the poor devil who has only that thought for his dying moments.
That was well enough said to be quoted. And now, Colonel, if I could prevail upon you to be put up here at the fort for a day or two, I trust this request won't strain your hospitality, since there's no alternative, no other place for me to stay.
Certainly, sir. Delighted to have you stay here as long as it's convenient. Now, if you'll forgive me, sir, I have some pressing business to attend to. Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Please arrange quarters for Mr. Winship. He'll be staying with us for a few days.
Thank you. Colonel, do you mind if I wander around a bit? I might yet find some local color that's worth writing about.
Not at all, Mr. Winship, not at all.
Thank you.
Lieutenant, as long as we're going to be busy tonight, make arrangements for Mr. Winship to have his dinner with the mess.
Yes, sir. Sir, the only quarters available for Mr. Winship will be in the barracks.
They'll have to do. Oh, Lieutenant,
Yes, sir.
be careful of him. He can be dangerous.
Yes, sir.
I didn't see you.
What's that for?
It's nothing.
My name's Winship. I'm a reporter here to do a story. I was wondering who I could talk to about the Post. Maybe you can spare me a little time. Might get your name in the paper.
Sorry, I'm on duty, sir.
What kind of duty calls for these?
Sorry, sir, I have to go.
Now, the reward involved, a chance to get the brothers. The risk involved, a chance to run into Chiricahua.
Have you ever heard of anyone, sir, that took on the Chiricahua in their own country?
No, Sergeant, I haven't. Nobody, that is, who lived to tell about it. So I'll understand if any of you wants to withdraw. Thank you, men. All right, we're all set. We'll pick up Corporal Tower and Carbon Canyon. Oh, and Jackson, pack a bow and some of those Chiricahua arrows you've been saving. They might come in handy.
Yes, sir.
We'll leave the fort at 5-minute intervals. We'll rendezvous just beyond the ridge. Any final questions? All right. Good luck, and dismissed. How about Mr. Winship? You all settled in comfortably for the night?
Yes, sir.
Let's hope he remains that way.
Secret orders commanded this mission. Orders to clean up the Southwest. For each man, it was an assignment beyond the call of duty. The brothers had to be taken, and the risks had to be shared. But the mission had to remain absolutely secret.
When I tell you to get up there and keep a lookout, you get.
Well, I found that soldier fella first, and I want some of the fun.
You get yours soon enough. Now get. I'm asking you for the last time, soldier. When's Mackenzie coming? No? No? When is he coming? Are you gonna talk? Because if you ain't never gonna walk again. Huh? Huh?
We're being followed, sir.
Yes, I've been aware of it for some time. I suspect it's our friend Winship from Washington. Well, we're about to lose him. I just hope he doesn't get in any trouble.
Hope he doesn't get in trouble.
We're in Mexico, Lieutenant. We're already in trouble.
No sign of tower anywhere, sir.
Did Tower acknowledge our message?
Yes, sir, he did. Rendezvous 1 hour before sunset.
No. Probably about 2 hours till sunset. We'll wait an hour. Then we've got to leave. We've got to get to the brothers' shack before dusk. All right, dismount. You. Easy, mister.
I lost my way.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to do in these here parts. Now, you move out toward that shack over there, and you're gonna find out just how lost you are. Go on, move.
How long's it been now, Lieutenant?
An hour and 5 minutes, sir.
Something's happened to him. Mount up.
Mount up.
God, give me a dipper of water. All right, come on. Tell me. Mackenzie. When is he coming? Huh? There's a lot of punishment still left in that. Are you gonna talk, boy? Or else your feet are gonna be feeling mighty poorly. Huh? You sure?
Stop it! Stop it!
What?
What kind of miserable animal are you, anyway? I heard there were men like you running loose in this territory, but I couldn't believe it.
Who's an animal? I'll tell you who's an animal. Hey, Len, untie him. All right, Mr. Newspaper man, you don't like the way we're doing things around here, well, maybe you can do them better. So here, it's your turn to be an animal. All right. See how it feels.
You want me to use this on him? All right. I'll tell you. I know where Mackenzie is. Only, don't hit him again.
The shack should be just up ahead. Chiricahua ponies.
There's a couple of those cutthroats around here somewhere. Maybe a scouting party. Or maybe they're waiting for someone to come out of that shack.
We've got to find them. Sergeant, you and Ryan take cover up close to those ponies. If we flush them out, they may try and run for it. But no shooting, remember? Lieutenant, you take the flank. Jackson, you come with me.
And I lost?
You did, huh? Find the saddle horses and be quick about it. All right, check the canteen.
What about them?
Mackenzie will find them after we finish with them.
You and Ryan jump in. Cover that house. Who's in that house with your brothers? Sergeant?
Now then, I said, who's in that house with your brothers?
One of your soldiers want to report a fella.
Are they alive?
Get me his clothes. I've got to get in there.
But, sir,
There's no other way, Lieutenant. They've got 2 hostages in there. He says they're still alive. I've got to get into that house. Quiet those horses. Jackson, I'm gonna make a run for the house. Pour as many arrows through those windows and through that door as you can to cover me. Lieutenant? Yes, sir? In the meantime, have the rest of the men sound off as loud as they can. Make them think old Yellowknife himself is out here. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tom. Get the door.
Mackenzie! All right, hold it. Lieutenant? Yes, sir? Mr. Winship, as you can see, our local color sometimes becomes a bit violent. Shall we go back to the United States? Thank you, Tower.
Thank you, sir.
Come on. We'll get you back to Fort Clark.
Yes, sir. The doctor said the tower's all right and will be able to walk in a couple of weeks, sir.
All right. Tell him he's got a 2 weeks furlough coming, as well as the new stripe he's sporting. That ought to make him feel better.
Yes, sir. Oh, and Colonel, Mr. Winship would like to see you.
All right. Send him in. Mr. Winship, I trust you're feeling well this morning?
Better. Alive. I'm catching the noon stage east for Washington. Would you do me one last favor and send this out by the nearest army telegraph to my paper?
Yes, sir. I'll see to it.
I think you'll agree that this is a story for all America to read. Why don't you read it?
Must I? Through the efforts of the United States 4th Cavalry, Colonel Ronald Mackenzie commanding, the border country of southwest Texas has The border country of southwest Texas is becoming a fit place for Americans to live. Colonel Mackenzie can do this and still maintain the integrity of the Mexican border. It's a tribute to his courage as a soldier, his wisdom as a statesman, and above all, his profound concern with the lives of his fellow countrymen. Mr. Winship, needless to say,
Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest. Make it a decent place for people to